here. I follow my stomach. You probably saw that coming before I did. Right, this is just intro to the actual build of the low relief high street. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build two of the houses. Now I'll just hold them up for you so you can see them. Okay. This one here, that one there I'm going to build for you, and this one here, the Elizabethan one. Okay. This one here is exactly the same as that there, apart from the facade, and this one and the end one are the same type of build as this one and that one, only double the width. So the principle is exactly the same. Okay, so we'll put that to one side for a minute, if I can, and explain to you. Right. So first off, we need to print out the download that you've got. Now, or before that, we want to make certain, obviously, that we've got some card. So I've just had a delivery of card. I'm quite happy with that. That's 20 off 1mm sheets. That's light card, it's called, on the download. Heavy card is, I'm not going to pick that up. That's another 20 sheets of heavy card, which is 2mm, and then some, so what he calls it, I can't remember. Anyway, you got 2mm, 1mm, and about 240 gram paper. Okay, you don't need that much in the way of 240 gram paper. It's just for very small items. So, you know, don't go buying, well, you can only buy it in a wodge, can't you? So, if you can get around it some other way, it's thick paper. So the download itself is divided up. There's quite a few sheets of it in total if you want to build the whole series of 5 buildings. But you can pick and choose, all right? Now there are some elements which are what they called common elements. Okay? That's the back, the sides, the ceilings and floors of each of the houses. They're common, so it doesn't matter what you're building, you need those. All right. So the two smaller buildings, one of which I'm going to build, the backs are common, the sides are common. Okay. Now on the double width ones, the back obviously is double the width, but the sides the sides are common, so that's the same as the other ones. The only thing that is slightly different, as I said before, is the backs and the floors, because they're double the width. Alright, so depending upon what you want to build out of it, as I said, you just download and print onto paper. Okay, so this one here I've got is facade number 1. Okay, it's marked down the bottom, it's fairly easy. Facade number 1, and you're given the choice of 2 different facades for that particular building. Alright, so you choose. Easy. Buttresses. And the important thing about this sheet is that there's a dotted line. I don't know if you can see that. There's a scissors and a dotted line down there. Alright. So the first thing you have to do is cut along the dotted line. This part here has to be glued to medium card. Okay, so that's it. Medium is 1mm. Got it right. Heavy is 2mm. So that's on a 1mm. This here you just cut out as paper. Alright, so you cut out the whatever front you want and the windows that you want. You don't glue that onto card before you cut it out. Alright, you cut it out on the paper and then you'll stick it. For instance, that there you can see has got the windows marked on it. Alright, so you'll cut those out, you'll stick this to card, you'll cut the windows out, and then you'll stick this on top of that afterwards. Right, we've got also a stack of stuff called cover layers, which are cover layers for the outside side walls. Alright, so you've got quite a few of those. There's the nice ones that I like, the ones with the sort of signs which are faded, like those, but obviously that would only do if you've got an in building, you won't see them if it's in the middle, so you need to position those, don't you? So that's that. More cover layers, of course. We've got the cover layers for the gutters, and then we've got sidewalls. Well, these will be stuck onto medium card, 1mm, and these sidewalls are cut out and glued onto heavy card. Okay. What I tend to do when I'm cutting these out, I don't cut them out exactly to the size. Okay, I leave a wee bit, maybe if I've got a quarter of an inch or something around the outside. Cut them out roughly, okay, around the outside, and then you stick them to the card before you actually cut out the particular proper to the lines. Okay, it's easier that way. If you cut them out to the lines beforehand, then you've got to be dead accurate in your cutting to make sure that it's easier just to do it, I find. Right, these are heavy card, so that will be the interior side walls. Okay, more interior side walls. There's loads of different stuff, isn't there? And then on heavy card you'll print off your floors and ceilings. Okay, so you get a different choice of those. You'll notice that the floors are all coloured and the ceilings are all kind of white. Okay, so you stick one and one, one and one, one and one and one and one. So you stick them together and make a sandwich. Just make sure that when you put them in the building, you put the ceiling pointing downwards like it normally does. Alright, well that's basically it. So it's dead easy, but it does take a bit of time. Now for the gluing, I think I've said this before, I use one of these yoo-hooey things. Yeah, that's good. That'll go on the paper, alright? Or what I tend to do if I'm sticking, like I explained to you, the facade paper to the actual piece of card which is cut out, I'll actually cover the card rather than the paper, because it tears fairly easily, the paper. I'll cover the card with that and then place the paper on top of it. For anything a little bit heavier going, card to card, sticking the backs on, sticking the sides on, I use yoo-hooey again, and kind of stuff, yeah. So you can, it's got a nozzle which you can, it's actually, yeah, not bad, it's fairly accurate because it's either a little drop or a big drop, so it's darn sight cheaper than specialist card glue that you can buy. I've seen, I can't get it here so I don't use it, but it's more expensive anyway. Cutting out, I'll use a scalpel for some objects, yeah, for fine cutting, windows, stuff like that. Anything any heavier than that, like a 2mm card, I use one of these things. Yeah, Stanley's cutters. What I've had to do is, you see this little yellow bit here, which you push down and extend the blade, because you get snap off football blades, if you follow me. Yeah, so you just extend it, snap it off, you got a new one. That isn't all that good at keeping hold of the position of the blade in the handle. So I've had to put a piece of card, I stuck a piece of card in the slot here, shoved it underneath, slipped it underneath this yellow bit, okay? So it holds this yellow bit up tight against the little notches, and that stops it from pulling out. When you cut like that, sometimes what happens is the blade stands still and the handle moves. So that, you know, you pays your money, you takes your choice, I suppose. But they're very handy having, because card really blunts, card blunts these things dead easy, blunts any cutting blade dead easily. So it will be rather expensive to buy the little blades, you know what I mean, individual ones that you turn around. I think that would be cost prohibitive, for me anyway. So we'll get on with that, and once I've stuck all the stuff on the paper, on the card, and cut it out, I'll come back to you and then we'll assemble it, okay? This is for the first building, the ordinary building, alright, not the Elizabethan one, that comes next. So, I think that's probably enough for this one now. Go ahead, download it, if you want to. If you don't bother. And I'll come back to you when I've done something more. Yeah, probably on the next video, I don't know. Could be the end of this one, we'll see. Bennett. There's my stomach. Right at the back. What we done? Glued on the should have got those ready before, shouldn't I? The common elements, okay. So we've got the down pipes glued onto a bit of card. All right, I've done all of them because I'm going to actually build more, not for you, but for me. That's a back. Okay, that's glued onto 2mm card. Side walls onto 2mm card also. Floors and ceilings and sides, interior walls glued onto 2mm card, and the front wall base layer and the roof glued onto that's on 2mm card also. No, it's not, it's on 1mm card, okay? That's on 1mm card. Right. So, I let those dry, okay? No good trying to cut them out whilst they're still wet, because even though you use one of those glue sticks, it does make them a bit wet. And the minute you start cutting them, they start tearing up and what have you, okay? So we'll get back, be the next video. We'll get back after we've cut them out, and then we'll glue them all together and put them all together into a kind of a three-sided box, waiting to put the fronts on. Of course, I've got quite a few sheets left over from what I showed you initially, because they're just print only, so okay. So I've just printed those off and just put them to one side for a minute. They still have to be cut out, obviously, but just cut out as paper. Yeah. I'll love you and leave you. Look after yourselves, and see you on the next one. Yep. Oh, another view of my stomach, sorry. Bye.